Can we use mods in Hytale? Hello and welcome back to Hytale Truffle. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. There are a few words in the gaming world as strongly associated with modding as the studio known as Hytale. I mean, the only reason that they've got so big to the point of developing their own game is because of their mods, and speaking of that, game which, seeing as you click on this video, you already know it's Hytale. Let's talk about the elephant in the room though, the all too important question that will the game be moddable? And well, if you're interested in finding out the answer to that question and more, then you have come to the right video. Now let's start by telling you a little bit about the story of Hytale, so you can understand how important modding is to them and why that question is not as straightforward as it seems. Now, if you don't know, Hytale is the brainchild of the famous Hypixel servers, which a lot of you might remember from your Minecraft days, and that's because, well, they were pretty much the gold standard for community-run servers. Not only did their custom Minecraft versions have one of the most well-designed worlds out there, but everything else including the gameplay, community, and of course, the mini-games was top-notch, and that, as you might guess, got them a lot of money. But that's probably making you wonder why the team would leave a good gig like that for such a big gamble like Hytale. Well, to understand the answer to that, we must rewind a few years to early 2014, when Minecraft made a bunch of controversial changes to its policy for dealing with third-party servers that, among other things, cut Hypixel's revenue for more than a half, which ultimately made the team behind those servers switch over to make their own game. And well, with that story in front of you, it's easy to see why modding would be such a big question mark in Hytale futures, because in a way, the reasons that they ever got started was because of mods, and the mods were also the source of everything they earned and their entire community. But at the same time, it was the treatment of modders by the big companies that had them expelled from their previous venture. So with all that said, let's come back to the questions of what decisions Hypixel Studio has made when it comes to mods to their own game, and the answer, unsurprisingly, is that they will not only support but actively encourage the community of third-party modders, servers, and mini-games surrounding Hytale. In a frequently asked question posted on their website, the team actually answered the question directly by saying the following when asked if Hytale will support modding. Yes, Hytale was made with creators in mind and includes a comprehensive collection of tools that grants players more creative power than ever, from model creations and animations to filmmaking, in-game scripting, and of course building with blocks. And that's incredible news both for fans of Hypixel but for all other companies and servers that face the same crisis that Hypixel did all those years ago. As for how exactly that modding will work, that question's a little harder to answer. You see, for most games like Minecraft, Terraria, and other sandbox types, modding is done by manipulating the actual code of the game. However, that limits the opportunity to customize the game to only a select few programmers who can read, write, and modify the code. Not to mention, understand in the first place. But if you make it too easy, like in the case of Roblox, then the game can quickly boil down into a steaming mess, which, while not completely a bad thing, does make stuff a lot harder for a game as complex as Hytale. So what's the solution? Well, according to Hypixel, the best way to deal with that is to have customizations be built directly into the fabric of the game for everyone to be able to change their heart's content without having to modify the game's underlying code. This allows for more general users to have unique editions of the game, all without having to face the bugs, hurdles, and risks that comes with amateur modding, while opening up the actual hardcore mod, making to professionals too. Continuing in the previously mentioned frequently asked question, the company told us all of that by saying, however, to combat abuse will not permit modifications to the client itself. With the amount of freedom you are given with Hytale's toolset, however, you won't need to do so. Having a single version of the game to support makes things easier for us as developers too. Now, that involves a lot of stuff in the game, and I do mean a lot of stuff. So let's now dive into some of the ways that you and I will be able to change the way our game behaves. To give a brief overview of the kind of stuff we are talking about, here's another excerpt from the frequently asked questions asking how extensive the native modding experience will be, to which the devs replied. Every aspect of Hytale is customizable, from damage values to animations, models, weather, combat mechanics, and more. And the ability to change all that without having to even add a single thing to the game is pretty incredible, especially considering how young the studio is. Not only this will feature allows modders and content creators to fundamentally change many aspects of the game without having to directly edit files, which increases the number of people who can mod a game but will allow you to basically create a completely new editions of the game all without leaving it. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos from us.